Greetings, everyone. I am Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick number nine of albums that are 10 years old in 2025. We've been looking back the second half of the month here in April 2025 at the year 2015. And we picked out our 15 favorite albums from 2015, from 10 years ago, that are celebrating those 10-year anniversaries and birthdays this year, right? So today, got another pretty special one. This is the 13th studio album by this Norwegian band. Hard to believe, man, 13 albums. And they've got more since, right? 13 album from this Norwegian band. It was released on March 6th, 2015, recorded at Duper and Soul Slotted Studios, as well as Earshot and Conclave Studios, as well as Personal Sound and Tveta Lokkeri, I'm sure I butchered that, over in Norway. Produced by Ivar Bjornson, Grutel Kjelsen, Herbrand Larsen, and Ivar Sandoy for Nuclear Blast Records. Of course, I can only be talking about In Times by the mighty Enslaved. Yes, indeed, people. This is a absolutely terrific album. This is like one, to me, Enslaved are one of those bands that started out in this kind of early mid 90s classic period for Norwegian black metal, but over the years have really developed into something special that kind of sets them apart from a lot of the other bands that they came up with, and certainly bands that popped up in their wake. They have taken on in more recent times a much more epic sound that fully embraces more melodic metal tones, certainly tons of progressive rock, um, just space rock, right? Just really embracing all these different styles to help make their music all the more unique, all the more rich and filled with all sorts of, wonderful elements that above and beyond just the rampage and blast beats and jagged tremolo picked riffs and harsh vocals and icy cold atmosphere of the early stuff. Now it's these big, almost like Pink Floydian soundscapes and the wonderful interplay between the clean melodic vocals and the harsher black metal style vocals, and great textured guitars and big riffs, tasty solos. Like I said, loads and loads of keyboards. Got mellotron and Hammond organ and synthesizer, electric piano, all that kind of stuff. Little bits of acoustic guitar, folky elements at times as well. They have, there to me, I always saw, or I have seen, I should say, in more recent times, like Enslaved. They're kind of going a direction that but in a different style of metal that like Opeth did for many, many years, right? And Opeth are kind of back to doing once again, or even like Amorphous, right? Like taking that raw early sound that they had and really incorporating all these different prog and folk elements and symphonic elements into their music and space rock and all that sort of thing to really give their sound something totally unique and probably to a lot of people much more accessible. All right, so in the band, Grutel Kjelsen on lead and backing vocals, bass, effects, bass pedals, all that sort of thing. We got Ivar Bjornson on guitars, backing vocals, synthesizer, effects, piano, Kato Bekkevold on drums. They're amazing and so valuable. Herbrand Larsen on lead and backing vocals, organ and keyboards, and the great Ice Dale on guitars and backing vocals. So, what do we have on this album? So, there are only 6 tracks on End Times. It's about 53 minutes worth of music. All 6 songs are 8+ minutes long. So, they really give these compositions room to breathe and develop, which I think is really cool. There, gee, I always never know how to pronounce this. Thursas Dreaming is the first track on here. Absolutely killer. Again, and I'm going to kind of say a lot of the same things over and over during this little mini review here because that's just all of this. These songs are just packed with this wonderful back and forth interplay between the soaring melodic vocals, and he's a really good singer, of Larson, and then mixed in with Grutel's kind of hellish black metal snarls. Right? It's this kind of like it just works so well together. And, whenever you got the clean vocals coming in, you get these big keyboard soundscapes in the back and then it's kind of like, the monster versus the knight, right? I mean, throughout some of the stuff, it's just really, really cool. And whenever Glutzel is doing his extreme vocal styles, you usually get these, crushing riffs and whatnot. So that opening title track is great. You got Building with Fire, which is also terrific. I really love 1,000 Years of Rain. The melodic parts are just so good there. Nauthier Bleeding, another great one. I might like the title track as my favorite song on here, though. I mean, it's just under 11 minutes long. It's the longest track on here, and it's just got some absolutely beautiful moments, and then like that middle section when those big bombastic riffs just come in and just like decimate everything in its path. Just so good. And again, it takes you on a journey because you got this kind of back and forth between the more aggressive, extreme parts of their music and the more gorgeous kind of like prog rock style. Really good. And then Daylight again has it starts off just absolutely gorgeous. It's got its violent moments as well, but just a really, really well constructed melodic black metal track with loads and loads of prog tendencies, as this whole album has. It's funny. This is one of those catalogs. I've talked about this before. It's like they've got so many. Personally, and I know for some people who are like longtime black metal purists, it might be blasphemy to say this, but I really prefer Enslaved's more recent output, and more recent meaning in the last, 15, 20 years, than I do the early stuff. I just feel they have brought so much to the table when it comes to their music that as amazing as some of their really early works are, because they always had a more progressive sensibility. They always wanted to kind of push the boundaries of what other black metal bands were doing. You had bands like them and Dimmu Borgir and Emperor, right, who were doing something really different. But I think Enslaved have just kind of built on that over the years. And man, their last 8 albums, whatever, however many it is, just have been spectacular. Just really, really good. It's just like I remember doing the ranking for this band, and it was just so hard because I just love so many of their albums, and they're just such a great band and just really classy. It's really cool when you can be a band as aggressive and extreme as they can be, but yet to deliver your music that's so epic and so sophisticated at the same time and so melodic, right? Really, really great stuff here. Really great stuff. All right, let's take a look at the charts. Dutch charts number 97, Finnish charts number 39, German album charts number 66. In Norway, this made it to number 21, back in the home country. UK rock and metal charts number 9. We got a whole bunch of US charts because there are a million US charts these days, right? So US top hard rock albums made it to number 8. US Heat Seekers albums made it to number 4. US independent albums, number 16. US top rock albums, number 25. And US top tastemaker albums, number 12. Hey, whatever. I guess Nuclear Blast is still considered an independent album uh, label. Oh God, Nuclear Blast is. I don't think of to me. I think of Nuclear Blast as like a major metal label. I know it's not one of the major majors, like Epic and Columbia, Warner Brothers, and all that sort of thing. But Nuclear Blast is to me is just like that's if you're a metal band and you're on Nuclear Blast, you've kind of hit the big time, right? But whatever. But yeah, I mean, this is ridiculous. One, two, three, four, 5 different U.S. charts, and that's just for this type of music, right? Probably dance charts, hip hop charts, rap charts, country charts, pop charts. I mean, I'm sure there's all these sort of things, right? So, yeah. That is my pick for today, folks. In Time by Enslaved. They would follow this up with E, just 2 short years later, right? They've been on a roll. These guys have been on a roll. So let us know what you think of this down in the comments below. Let me kill the Prezi app and you can see me in the way I'm supposed to be seen here. Yeah, that's right. That is a Judas Priest shirt. Pete, I've been trying to read it backwards. I know. Sorry for the Prezi app. I hate that it does that, but it's so nice to be able to have a nice clear image. And yeah, as you can guess, I do own this CD. However, it's in my closet of doom that needs to be completely rearranged and inventoried, and it's buried. And it's just to go get to it. I gotta move so much. I need help. No, I am long overdue for kind of like a purging and an inventorying and just yeah, it's because they've just accumulated so much over the last 2 years, and I haven't sat down to really kind of go through. I usually like to go through once a year and weed out stuff that I'm like, I have no reason to own this, and I literally haven't done that in like 2 years, and yeah. It needs to be done. So a lot of times when you see me using Prezi, it's because some of the stuff that I really want to show and talk about are in this mess, and it's just to get to it. It's more work than so. Yeah, but that's I got to take a day off and just dedicate it to just that, and I'm planning on doing that real soon, sometime this spring or summer. I absolutely have to do it. So anyway, that's my pick for today. List your pick down in the comments below, and we'll see you soon here with more stuff. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also, down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, our Cameo page, and the Sea of Tranquility membership options are all down there. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. And we'll see you soon here with more stuff. I'm Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.